Hello Arjun, hope you all are doing good. Guys, what happened whenever we are participating in any entrances, we all want to succeed, we all want to get success. But everyone cannot get success if that is competitive exam, if there is a limited seats that we can find in many entrances, many competitive exams. In psychology, there are so many like M.Phil, PsyD, PDCP, MA Psychology entrance exams. There are so many entrances in which we want to succeed, but sometimes it happens that we are not going to get success just because limited seats. And whenever we are not getting success, we feel demotivated. Sometimes we ask question to self, we develop self doubts. All these are very natural kind of emotions that we are having. But whenever we are participating, we have to give our 100%, how much knowledge, how much experiences we are having. We have to put all those at the time of exam, in examination, and then we have to forget them. We have to move ahead. We have to focus on the next goal that you have decided. If you don't have decided, then we have to decide next goal. So sometimes it happens that we are not getting success. If we get success, we celebrate. But if we are not getting success, then we learn from that exam कि मैंने क्या mistake किया, what kind of mistakes I did that I can improve in upcoming exam. So all these things are necessary because we are receiving so many calls, so many messages that I missed this exam, इसमें मुझे success नहीं मिला, what I need to do, I feel demotivated, I'm having self doubts. So all these things will be there. Don't battle with those feeling, those emotions that we are having, because that emotions are very natural. Whenever in life or in exam, whenever we are not getting what we want to get, so हम थोड़ा मायूस हो जाते हैं. We are developing that kind of doubts, but it's completely okay. We need to be excel every day, right? The main thing is what we are learning today, what you learn today, right? So every day what we are learning, that making us successful. In previous class, I already presented or talked about, and we discussed about CUET PG questions, few questions, but I got many requested just because those live session is not available due to technical issues and all. So we will repeat those questions and then we will move ahead. So we will try to discuss at least 25 questions in today's class. And if you are having doubt and queries, the main motto is not discussing questions, right? The main motto of this live is whenever I'm coming here, I'm coming with the sense that when you are watching this video, you feel connected to psychology. If you're having any doubt and dilemma, and if you are not finding any source to answer that particular doubts and dilemma, that is not necessary that is connected to psychology. That could be anything. That could be connected to life, that could be connected to entrance preparation, and that could be beyond this. So there must be someone and there must be a place where you can present, and where you are presenting something and someone answering on those, someone presenting concern, someone if they are having more experiences so they are mentioning something and we are following them and we are getting success. Sometimes it happened in my life as well. Whenever I stuck in my life, whenever I don't imagine any solution, when I don't know what to do, in those situations what I do, I also reach to reach to mentor, I also reach to my parents, I also reach to those individual जिनके पास उसका solution हो सकता है, right? They can help me out, and I'm requesting them, suggesting them, and what they are mentioning, I implement them in our life. So this is the main motto of this class. But yes, whenever we are coming here, we are learning something. So you can discuss anything to me, right? If you are having any doubt, anything related to psychology and beyond those, we can discuss. So very quickly, I will complete 10 questions because we have already discussed all those 10, and then we will move ahead. So if you remember, this was the list. This was the first question. Match the list 1 with list 2. In list 1, there is paranoid, histrionic, borderline, schizotypal, and in list 2, suspiciousness and mistrust of others, impulsiveness, self-determination, peculiar thought patterns. If you know the right answer, you can mention in chat box. Hello Arju, hope you are doing good, right? Uh, Thank you for being here, right? Uh, Hello Sneha, hello Vima, hello everyone. Hello, we can move ahead. So now here you can see we can relate paranoid. We can relate paranoid to suspiciousness. We all are aware paranoid is connected to suspiciousness and mistrust to others. When we talk about histrionic, histrionic is self-dramatization. Why they are doing this drama, self-dramatization is a symptom of histrionic? Because due to this, they want to capture attention of other individual, right? And when we talk about borderline, line is related to impulsiveness. Impulsivity will be one of the prime symptom of borderline, and stereotypal will be connected to peculiar thought patterns. So we can say A1, B3, 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 C2 and D4. So correct answer will be 2. A1, B3, C2, D4. Second is the right answer. Now we can move ahead. Question number 2. The science of behavior that focuses on observable behavior only is called observable behavior only. That means in which part of psychology we are focusing mainly and only on observable behavior, and you are having these options. If you are having these options like behaviorism, psychoanalysis, gestalt and functionalism, if we know the basics of a school of psychology, then we got to know that behaviorism focusing on observable behavior. So correct answer will be 1, behaviorism. Here you can see events the milestone of locomotor development of a baby up to 4 months in their correct order. Option A, lift chest, lift head, fetal posture and reach and miss. So first of all, we have to understand that fetal process is the first step, and newborn retain this kind of activity. They are able to do those kind of activity like curled up position from the womb itself. So when they will be in womb, at that particular time they are presenting certain kind of behavior. We can say that is a fetal posture. After fetal posture, there will be lift head. Child will be able to lift their head, right? Upper part of the body, they will be able to lift that particular area. When there will be maturity in lifting head, then they will be able to lift till chest. So they are now lifting head and chest together, right? And then somewhere later on there will be a kind of development when they will reach something or they will miss something. So we can say the sequence will be C, B, A, D. C, B, A, D, right? C, B, A, D. Second is the right answer. Next, arrange Maslow's hierarchy of need in correct sequence. Physiological need, safety need, esteem need, belongingness and love needs. We all are aware in the basic approach, in the original approach of Maslow, they told us that in the beginning there will be biological need. We call them physiological need. Then there will be safety and security need. Then there will be love need. Then there will be social need. And then self-esteem and then self-actualization. So whenever we are moving with it, so we can say there will be, here you can see physiological need, safety need, esteem need and belonging and love need. So physiological need will be in the beginning, physiological need. Then safety and security need. After safety and security need, there will be belongingness and love need. And then there will be esteem need, or sometimes we call them self-esteem. So A, B, D and C. A, B, D and C. A, B, D and C. Third is the right answer. Fine. Question number 5. People who have a strong desire to succeed in attaining goals may be high in the need for attention, power, affiliation, achievement. Now, if you remember in previous class, previous session as well, I told you that whenever we are talking this theory is presented by Mackland, and we are presenting this theory by the triangle. So at these three corners, there will be three things. First is achievement need, second affiliation need, and third is power need. And we are, as a human being, is a bouncing ball in between. Sometimes we will be here, sometimes we will be close to here, sometimes we will be close to achievement need. So question mentioning people who have a strong desire to succeed in attaining goal, that is related to success, that is related to achievement. So we can say correct answer will be achievement need. So whenever any individual having desire to be excel in something, they want to achieve certain goal, we can say that is achievement. If any individual looking for power, that will be power need. And if any individual looking for affiliation, a relationship, then that will be affiliation need. So question is very simple. They are clearly mentioning if any individual having desire to success or succeed in attaining goal, we can say that will be achievement need. Question number 6. Which of the following is associated with depth perception? Monocular cue, binocular cue, proximity, and linear perspective, right? Which of the following is associated with depth perception? So yes, A is depth perception, right? Monocular cue is depth perception. Those individuals who are using one eye to see depth, we call them monocular cues. So yes, there are so many monocular cues. Interpositioning, motion parallax, all these are the monocular cues. So yes, that is the cue. Binocular, yes, superimposing is the binocular cue. Binocular means those human being, those individual who are using both the eye to see depth. So we can say binocular cue. Yes, that is the right answer. Then proximity. Proximity is not, here you can see, is not the cue for the depth perception, because proximity help us to develop perception, right? You can find that this came from Gestaltian, right, law of perception. So this proximity help us perceive things, that is need, that is necessary to perceive things according to Gestaltian, but that is not depth perception. So we can consider them wrong, but linear perspective is one of the monocular cues, so that is also correct. So we can say A, B and D is correct answer. So A, B and D, A, B and D, first, number 1, first is the right answer. Next, question number 7, here you can see the formula for changing a raw score to a G score is, where X equal to raw score, M equal to mean, and SD equal to standard deviation. We all need to know that whenever we are finding G score, we are using the formula like sample mean minus mu divided by standard deviation. We can standard deviation, this is the sign of it, standard deviation, we can use this. But here you can see there are different terms, X, M and SD we have to use. So we have to understand कि इस formula को, that formula that I am writing here, इसको हम ऐसे भी लिख सकते हैं, G equal to population mean. So here you can see this is X is raw score, this is population mean, and this mean that we have collected from the sample. That's why we will consider X is population mean, M is sample mean. So X minus M divided by standard deviation. This will be the formula according to the options we are having, right? So you can see number 1, G equal to X minus M divided by standard deviation. This one, this will be right answer. Now question number 8. Here you can see this is the, I think this is the new one. हमने यहाँ तक ही discuss किया था question number 7. Now I am moving ahead, right? But before moving ahead, I would like to interact with you. Whenever you are mentioning answer, just give me a favor, mention question number, so I will be able to understand कि किसका answer आपने दिया है. So Rima, you are answering. Arju, you are answering. Neha, you are answering. Well done, you all are correct. Vigingwala, you are answering. Arjun Reddy, you are answering. Ani, yes, you are answering. Whenever you are answering, na, mention question number, so that will help me out to understand कि आपने किसका आंसर दिया है. Now I am moving ahead. You can see hippocampus plays a role in emotion, balance, control, fear, sexual drive. Whenever you hear the term hippocampus, what comes in our head? Memory. Hippocampus is responsible for memory. But when this kind of question will be there in exam, then what you will choose, right? Because यहाँ memory तो है ही नहीं, और यहाँ none of the above भी option में नहीं है. If there will be none of the above in option, then we might think about those. But we have to choose from emotion, balance, control, fear, sexual drive. But we all are aware that hippocampus is very closely associated to memory just because of HM case. But we all are aware that hippocampus is primarily known for memory, but here we don't have memory. So specifically if we are talking about all these, so we can choose emotion. Why? Because when we are talking about emotion, we are having, first of all, we are having so many evidences, right, researches that depicting and clearly, right, hypothesizing that hippocampus somewhere playing important role, right, in emotion. What I said, hippocampus is primarily known for their role in memory formation, specifically long-term and spatial memory. But on the basis of HM case, HM forget all the information that they collected in the past and they was not able to create new memories. So we can say anterograde and retrograde amnesia, both kind of amnesia, individual developing just due to hippocampus. That's why that is connected to memory. But if memory will not be in the option, then we have to understand that this tiny specific area that is very close and linked to limbic system, and limbic system is very important in processing emotion. That's why whenever there will be changes in hippocampus, they will impact our limbic system or they will process certain emotions. So emotion will be the right answer, number 1. Right? Now moving ahead. The goal of psychology are to uncover the mysteries of human and animal behavior through their option A, description, B, explanation, C, prediction, and D, control. Now here you can see goal of psychology. So if any individual having UPS education notes or material, so in first 3-4 pages itself, you can find we are discussing about different goals and their hierarchy, like first time in the beginning what kind of goals will be there, after fulfilling them then what will be the goal. So we are discussing them. So if you are having those content, so you can move with those pages. So the goal of psychology are to uncover the mysteries of human and animal behaviors through their description, explanation, prediction, and control. First of all, I would like to mention here that A, B, C, D, all these sequence that is given, that is correct. यही sequence होगा A, B, C, D. That means this is the right answer. But what is description, explanation, prediction, and control? So description, we are considering first step. So psychologists observe and describe behavior objectively to identify pattern. This is description. So as a psychologist, we are just observing and describing behavior very objectively. Now you can ask what is the meaning of objectively, right? So there are so many things that we have to consider. Sometime we will try to discuss what is objectively, what objectively mean. So they are psychologists observing and describing behavior very objectively to identify pattern, description. When description will be there, then there will be explanation. Explanation means goes deeper by exploring the why behind any behavior, looking at causes, theories, and influences. So in the beginning there will be description, after description there will be explanation, and when explanation will done, then there will be prediction, because we understood those, we explained those by using different theories, causes, influences. So now we are predicting, right? So once pattern are found, causes are found, we got the theory, then psychologists try to predict how individual might behave in a certain situation. And then if that particular behavior and if those particular act is not as expected, if that is deviated from the population, if that is dangerous behavior, if that behavior is not healthy, then we are trying to control them, right? So we can say, I'm not saying these are the only example, like some example will be fit for clinical psychologist, some example will be fit for social psychologist, some example for school psychologist. So what we talked here, that is fit for the clinical psychologist. So first description, then explanation, then prediction, and then control. These are the sequence. So A, B, C, D will be the right answer, third one. Question number 10. Who has discussed basic anxiety and basic hostility? Now this is very factual question. If you know, you know. If you don't know, we cannot analyze them, right? So if you read, if you know who presented the concept, and I think you all are aware about it. If we are not aware, then it's a good news, we are learning, right? So here you can see basic anxiety and basic hostility. We are having option like Karen Howney, Dollard and Miller, B.F. Skinner, Albert Bandera, right? One thing I would like to mention, don't pronounce this particular name as it is literally, right? Because in India, more specifically in English, right, that having a different meaning of it, right? So how we are pronouncing them? Whenever we pronounce, then Howney, this pronunciation we can use, Howney. So Karen Howney, Dollard and Miller, B.F. Skinner and Albert Bandera. And correct answer is Karen Howney. Karen Howney, number 1. This is the right answer. Now the question is, what is basic anxiety and what is basic hostility? So according to Karen, basic anxiety is a deep feeling of what we can say insecurity and fear in the child due to lack of warmth and affection from caregiver. So when caregiver fail to give affection and warmth to the child, then they are developing feeling of insecurity, that is basic anxiety. And when we talk about basic hostility, so this is resentment or we can say anger, right? A child feel when caregiver are neglectful or we can say abusive. So when parent is neglecting child, they are neglectful, and when parent is abusive, when parent indulge in domestic violence, in those particular situations there will be resentment or anger that child feel, we can say that is hostility, basic hostility. So this concept, basic anxiety and basic hostility, discussed by Karen Howney. So number 1, first option will be right. Here you can see the light rays pass through different part of the eye in order to convert light energy to a neural code. Arrange the following in their correct sequence of light passes through. So we have to arrange all these things in a sequential manner, how light proceed, right? So here you can see pupil, cornea, retina and lens. Sometime you have to understand that if you are not able to understand the sequential order, that's completely okay. If you are not aware what will be the sequential, if you are confused between suppose that pupil and cornea, then what happen? You will do mistake. So what we have to do, if you are aware about the first step or last step, just consider those. Like you are confident enough that retina will be at the end. Light passes through all the organs, but the final step will be retina. So retina will be at the end. That means C. Now here you can see only one options we are having. Who are having C at the end? और तो कुछ चाहिए ही नहीं. If we are aware that okay, retina is the final step of light. मुझे अगर इतना ही पता है, I know only this point and I don't know where is the pupil and where is the cornea and where is the lens. I am having confusion between cornea, lens, pupil, cornea, right, and like pupil, lens. So you have to find something. चलो ठीक है, इस क्वेश्चन में तो हमें पता है कि retina will be at the end, so I got the answer. Sometimes you will not be able to get the answer only by end point. Sometimes we have to consider end point, और कोई एक और clue मिल जाए, like which one is the first point. I don't know about the middle, but first point and last point I am aware, so we can choose, right? So here we need to understand that first will be cornea, pupil, lens and retina. Cornea, pupil, lens and retina, right? So correct answer will be BADC, right? But here if we know C is the last stage, last point of light, we can say okay, right, BADC will be the only option, possible option, so we will choose that. Question number 12. Okay, well done, Hridaya, Rima, Arjun Reddy, Ani, Ramesh Kumar, Neha, well done, you all are responding correctly. Okay, fine. So here you can see the formula of IQ is simple, one of the simplest question that a psychology student can get, right? Option 1, mental age divided by chronological age multiply 100. Option B, chronological age divided by mental age multiply 100. Option 3, 2 multiply mental age divided by chronological age multiply 100. And fourth, 2 multiply chronological age divided by mental age multiply 100. We all are aware that correct formula will be mental age divided by chronological age multiply 100. हमें इतना बस याद रखना है, कंफ्यूज ये नहीं होना कि mental age will be divided by chronological age or chronological age will be divided by mental age, right? We have to understand, we have to keep in mind that mental age, we will divide mental age by chronological or physical age. So mental age divided by chronological age multiply 100 will be our right answer. Option 1 is correct. Question number 13. Which of the following techniques is based upon the principle of operant conditioning? We all are aware, right? What is operant conditioning? Operant conditioning is known as radical behaviorism, right? So here we are having options: systematic desensitization, aversive conditioning, behavior modification and flooding. So when we talk about operant conditioning, which of the following technique is based upon the principle of operant conditioning? Systematic desensitization, aversive conditioning, behavioral modification and flooding. The closest answer according to the options that we are having, the closest one will be behavior modification. Now we have to understand what it means by behavior modification, right? That is not so difficult term, but we can discuss in brief. So if any individual having confusion, so we can handle them. Behavior modification, we can say explicitly apply operant conditioning principles, right? Why I mean to say operant conditioning means radical behaviorism. They are using radical behaviorism. So by using reinforcement, reward, right, to increase desired behavior, or we use punishment to decrease undesired one. When we talk about reinforcement, there is a two type of reinforcement: positive reinforcement, negative reinforcement. When we talk about punishment, then there will be negative punishment and positive punishment. So all these techniques we are using to behavior modification, and that will happen in radical behaviorism, operant conditioning. Many individuals can develop confusion that why not systematic desensitization. So systematic desensitization is a technique, and that technique and flooding as well are based on classical conditioning, that focusing on association, relaxation, associating relaxation with anxiety triggers. So in flooding, in systematic desensitization, we are using classical conditioning where we are associating things to decrease the changes or anxiety in someone. Aversive conditioning, as name suggests, this is a conditioning as well. So we are using conditioning here. So correct answer will be behavior modification. That is the right one. Now here you can see, in the context of Beck's cognitive behavior therapy, arrange the following circumstances in sequence that lead toward psychological disorder. Option A, negative affect. B, illogical idea. C, depression. And D, negative thoughts, memories, ideas. And we are having these options to choose. Here you can see negative affect, illogical ideas, depression, negative thoughts and memories, and question mentioning in the context of Beck cognitive behavior therapy, arrange the following circumstances in sequence that lead toward psychological disorder. So in the beginning, there will be B, illogical idea. B, I am mentioning B. After B, we can say negative thoughts and memories. D. And then there will be negative affect. Negative affect, A. And then after negative affect, individual will develop psychological disorder like depression. So C is the right answer. Now again, suppose that you are not aware what will be the sequence. Let's take an example. So what is the logical way to answer it? मुझे पता है कि depression is the final things. इतना तो पता ही है, we can process them because we are talking about that what is the sequence to lead toward psychological disorder. So this will be at the end, depression will be at the end, C will be last option. So here you can see in last all these options having D, D, A. Only one option we are having who are mentioning C at the end. So B, A, D, C is the right answer if we are not aware about the sequencing. B, A, D, C, right? Illogical, then negative, illogical, and then negative affect or negative thoughts could be possible, right? But here B, A, D, C or B, A, AC we can choose as well, but B, A, AC we don't have, right? So there is a change. What we have to choose in this particular situation, B, illogical idea, and then we can choose negative affect, right? And then D, negative thoughts and memory and depression, right? So these are the sequence, these are the correct sequence. So B, A, D, C. I told you what logic we can use here, which kind of logic we can perform. Here, psychological disorder, towards psychological disorder, right? We have to arrange. So we all are aware depression will be at the end. C is here, right? And all other options having different options. So we can move with C, right? Third option. Yes. Question number 15. Fill in the blank is a sensory experience that seems real to the person having it, but occurs in absence of any external perceptual stimuli. Delusion, illusion, hallucination, depression. Delusion, illusion, depression will always be possible, always will be there in the presence of external perception stimuli, in the presence of, right? Not in the absence of. Why? We can take example. Like when we talk about delusion, any individual having delusion, just because they are observing something, maybe they are delusive, but that will be related to someone, that will be related to something external, right? Illusion is also, right, illusion is a, we can say, faulty type of perception, right, like Ponjo illusion, Aim-Sum illusion. So this also occur in the presence of external perception stimuli. Similarly, depression is also happening on the basis of external perceptual stimuli. Chances are very high that is possible. But when we talk about hallucination, hallucination typically fits into this particular sentence, in this particular sentence. Hallucination is a sensory experience that seems real to the person having it, but occur in the absence of any external perceptual stimuli. So no one calling them, but they are listening their name. There are no one in the room, but they are interacting with them because they are having those kind of sense or experience that they are in reality talking with someone. So hallucination will be the right one. 16th, question number 16th, match the list 1 with list 2. In list 1, Robert Sternberg, B. Cattell, C. Das, Negleri and Kirby, and D. Howard Gardner. And list 2 mentioning past theory, multiple intelligence, trichic theory and fluid intelligence. It is not necessary. Whenever there will be matchmaking question will be one of the easiest question that you can deal with, right? If you don't know about all the options, suppose that if you know only 2, कोई भी randomly choose कर ले, suppose that Robert Sternberg, you know Robert Sternberg. So Robert Sternberg presented trichic theory na. They said there are 3 components of the intelligence: analytical, creative and practical. Trichic theory, okay, fine. Now Cattell, suppose that you are aware about the Cattell. So Cattell will be related to fluid intelligence. If you know A3 and B4, A3, B4, A3, B4, now you can answer A3, B4, fourth one will be the right answer, A3, B4. But when we talk about Das, Negleri and Kirby, they presented past model. Past model is one of the influential theory of intelligence that is developed by Das, Negleri and Kirby. Professor Das is an Indian psychologist, right? Indian Canadian now we can say, but they are Indian psychologists. Howard Gardner, here you can see option D, that will be connected to multiple intelligence. So we can say A3, B4, C1 and D2 is the right answer. Fourth is right answer. Question number 17th, again matchmaking. So it is a good news, right? Because we can handle them easily. Match the list 1 with list 2. A. Verbal comprehension index. B. Perceptual reasoning index. C. Working memory index. C. Processing speed index. And list 2 mentioning similarities, digital span, picture concept and coding. So first, verbal comprehension index is connected to similarities. Is connected to similarities. A is connected to 1. A is connected to 1. A is connected to 1. Okay, there are many options who are having A1. Then B, perceptual reasoning index. B is connected to 3. Picture concept. A1, B3. A1, B3. Now we are having only one option. A1, B3. Now you see, I am not connecting all those. I am not matching all the options. I matched 1 or 2 and now we got our answer. So A, verbal comprehension index will be connected to similarities. Perceptual reasoning index will be connected to picture concept, and working memory index will be connected to digit span. Working memory index will be connected to digit span, and processing speed index will be connected to coding, right? Coding. So answer to A1, B3, C2 and D4 is the right answer. Question number 18. According to Erikson's stage of psychosocial development, the trust versus mistrust phase is the development task of infant, toddler, preschooler and adolescent. So trust versus mistrust is the first psychosocial, we can say psychosocial stage that is presented by Erikson. First psychosocial stage is trust versus mistrust. So if we are aware that is the first stage of Erikson psychosocial stage, so obviously that will be in infancy. Infant, option A will be the right answer. Option A will be right. 1. Infant. Infancy will be the right answer. Now question number 19th. Here you can see, according to Kohlberg theory of moral development, in which stage morality is judged in terms of what satisfies own needs or those of others. Stage 1, stage 2, stage 3 and stage 4. Now here you can see, according to Kohlberg, there will be 3 levels and there will be 2 stages at all levels. So there are total 3 levels and 6 stages, right? So here you can see, according to Kohlberg theory of moral development, in which stage morality is judged in terms of what satisfy own need or those of others, then answer will be stage 2. So here any child understand that when I have to present this behavior and when not. They understood that if I will present this behavior in front of person A, they don't like it. And if I will present the same behavior in front of person B, they will like it. Like when any individual talking about sports, any games in front of their class teacher, might be possible that they don't like it, right? But when they will do same kind of conversation in front of physical teacher, they will love it. So they understand this particular kind of thing at stage 2. Stage 2 will be right answer. Question number 20. In the normal probability distribution, what percent of a score lie between 1 standard deviation and -1 standard deviation? Now here you can see these are the options: 47.72%, 34.13%, 68.26% and 49.87%. Now I will not explain this question for now, and this is a kind of work that you got, right? So we will begin our next session from this particular point itself and try to discuss 20-25 questions in next live session as well. So what will be the right answer and why? You can mention the calculation. It is not necessary that mathematical calculation you are mentioning. You just write the concept how we can find answer of this particular question in chat box. I will wait for your response, right? So okay, so you are already mentioning, and I would like to mention that you all are correct, right? Like Shivani, well done, you are right. Arju, yes, correct. Correct answer will be 68.26. Now we all revealed the right answer, but you have to mention how, right? बहुत simple है, right? That is simple, but how, that is the right answer. Rima, yes, you are mentioning. Neha, well done, correct. Ani, well done, correct. So Arju and Rima, you are mentioning their explanation. So as per the normal probability curve, Rima mentioning, thank you sir for wonderful session. Welcome Rima. Ramesh Kumar mentioning tips for answering region and assertion questions. Thank you. So Ramesh Kumar, we can do one thing. In next class, when I will came here, I will come with few assertion regions and I will let you know how we can handle those assertion region. क्या technique होना चाहिए, which kind of technique we can use to answer assertion region. So probability will be higher to choose the correct one, right? So this is the thing. Arju mentioning, thank you so much for the lovely session, sir. It was fun. Thank you, Arju. Thank you. Right. So guys, as I told you in the beginning and how we begin the session, whenever you are going to participate in any thing where you are going to face competition, maybe that will be exam, that will be real life setting, or that will be anything, right? We have to keep in mind that chances of losing and chances of getting those will be there, right? That means you can lose, we can win, but one thing is guaranteed, you will learn, right? So whenever you are losing something and whenever you are facing challenges, so no doubt the negative emotions, negative feeling, right, hit us. That is the reality, but we have to keep in mind that no matter we lose the game, we lose means what? First of all, right, whenever we are losing something, that is not perpetual. That is the temporary thing. We lose something, we have to collect courage, and then again we have to try, right? We have to try. Then we will get success, right? So losing doesn't mean that is perpetual thing. That is temporary thing. We lose, we have to collect courage, and we have to try again, right? But one thing is guaranteed. Whenever we are winning, we feel good and we learn. But whenever we lose, then we learn more than those individuals who won that particular thing. So just keep this thing in mind and keep learning no matter what is the situation and what is the condition. That is the main thing, right? So that's all for today. See you in next session, and thank you everyone for mentioning positive, right, comment. I will definitely read all those, and I will wait for all of you in next live. Bye.